Hey guys, it's John, and welcome back to The Letter, part 26. Should we burn the letter or burn the mansion? I think we should burn the mansion. That's what I think. I'm going to regret this, I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I've ever made. But you were just protesting it a couple minutes ago. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast, and what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? No need to make things more complicated. It started here, why won't it end here? If what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it. Millions! With a sigh and perhaps a heavy heart, I open one of the drawers in my study table. Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it out to every occupant in the room. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good. Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight, using the blasted paper as kindling. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hannah, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive, aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take out one off from the many nooks I've stashed one. Okay, right. And there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, the parlor, and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Exactly, thank you. I hate being on Luke's side, but damn. Hannah had called me out on this numerous times before, telling me of the same thing. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it before completely dismissing her concerns. Worrywart, that woman. Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this. Wonder of wonders, though I suppose I can now say this also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place has become easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself. Returning to what it's supposed to be. What? Soon we finally found ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we'd previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs, while her whole world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eye is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one, forlorn, is the only word I can think of to describe it.
No, please, help me.
Yeah, I think we're past that.
Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us, or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. I have to remind myself she's no longer Hannah. The woman I loved is gone, and who stands before me is nothing but a pale imitation of who she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Now with the exit just a few steps away. The door's finally open, and through it I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell more than anything. For all of her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Achievement unlocked, light it up. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me. For some reason, nothing about this bothers me. What about Johann's? Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. and with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes, darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxembourg's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from the outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Right to the epilogue. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxembourg City after the incident. Okay, so is it just me, or did we learn nothing about the main plot of the game? We still have the rest of the epilogue, and there were hints, right? Officers who investigated have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident resulting in the deaths of innocent lives. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time, those will finally be revealed. Only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know it. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that filled the nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once tread its halls. So now we get a little epilogue for everybody. Although Luke Wright has won his legal battle with Briar Realty Corporation, another tech leak places him and Wright Enterprise under the spotlight months later. This time, however, with the then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of Wright Enterprises' illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Hang on a second. So, oh wow. Okay guys, wow, I did not expect it to just make a beeline towards the end like that. Huh. Okay, anyway, sorry. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Meanwhile, to avoid public outrage, Achievement unlocks Saving Your Hide. The once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxembourg apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. You're not gonna go like South America or something? You're gonna go to Ireland? To this day, no one has heard from him, even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him flitting in and out of the city, if only to check on those he has left behind. Achievement unlocked, Requiem. Months after her recovery, Maryann McCulloch heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a past she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. In spite of this, a different regret still clings to her, one that has been left by what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde mansion. She never returns to Luxembourg after, leaving her interior design company in the hands of her secretary instead. What? What? She's not an interior designer, the secretary. But with her absence, the business eventually declines. Obviously, big surprise, until they are forced to shut it. Unexpectedly, she turns to music years later, hoping it'll someday drown out the voices and the gruesome memories still lingering in her head. By some stroke of luck or an unfortunate circumstance of fate, Maryann encounters Luke Wright once again almost a year after she returned home, because they're both in Ireland. She meets the man in the local marketplace, newly settled, fumbling, and confused. Although her opinion of him remains ambivalent at best, she reluctantly offers help. Ambivalent? I wouldn't call that ambivalent, but whatever. Especially after seeing him stumble on his Gaelic more times than she deems acceptable. And it becomes a start, not to a close friendship by any means, but perhaps something akin to it. And on better days, when vitriol and scathing words don't get in the way, there's only the pleasant companionship one offers to the other. casual visits to the other's home, sharing a bottle of wine or two, and simply talking about anything under the sun. A comfort after their mutual loss, something they both eventually learned to appreciate with time. With help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own, something he has only dreamed of having as a child. Although he still hopes to get back to making indie films someday, client work and small projects have kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermagod mansion easier, if not faster. But while there are still nightmares, while support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxburn's major academic circles, especially after writing that what she has discovered about Anselm Village and the Ermagod Mansion. With help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure funding to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at local and international symposiums. Bully for you. Now at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. A move supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can even begin to change people's minds about it, Professor Clark has warned her as much, she perseveres. Doing so not for herself, but for the sake of a history the future generation must never forget. No matter how disturbing the experience with the curse may have been, she remains the worrywart she has always been. Even after what she has seen, she continues to fret over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. But if there's one thing that has shifted, it's her relationship with the people in their little group, particularly with Zachary Steele. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when he's swamped with work. They also seem to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. You know, not everyone has to be shipped with someone else. Not everyone has to pair off with another character. This is completely unnatural. They'd never really had a relationship throughout the game. Did they ever have one-on-one conversations? Maybe like once? Maybe once. I don't know. Maybe it's born out of their shared experience. The closest we got was like when they went to the cafe with Isabella. Or maybe the way they see each other has simply changed naturally due to the years they've known each other. Sorry, regardless of the whys, it's a change the man welcomes and appreciates. In turn, he strives to return her kind gestures whenever he can. For all the horrors they've seen, who would have thought something good will come of it? Things have inevitably become strange between Ashton Frey and Rebecca Gales in the months following her confession. And with their lives getting busier, the two of them have eventually drifted apart. Although neither talks about it and the teacher still strives to forget an old love, it's clear in Rebecca that there are still feelings left she couldn't let go of. If anything, however, this has made it obvious how much has changed between them, and how much she has clung to the idea of Ashton from their younger days, the one that may not have been there in the first place. Merely an idea for a starry-eyed young girl. But if there will be a time she will be able to accept this, to move on from the hurt, and repair an old friendship that has fallen to ruin, only she knows. Amidst her struggles, Rebecca finds an unlikely companion in Luke Wright. What? I guess it is pretty high. Whatever. While he avoids the sea like a plague nowadays after losing both his company and Hannah, he manages to drop by from time to time. Right. Mostly to check in on his goddaughter, Kylie Suarez, although the man still won't admit it when asked. Rebecca still regards the man as insufferable. She doubts it'll ever change. But after all she has seen, much as she denies it, she now considers his presence the closest thing she has to comfort. A similar sentiment the former businessman seems to hold, even confiding in the woman of his problems, petty or otherwise. Their friendship may be awkward at best, but with the grim reality of death having once shadowed over the both of them, it's something they eventually grow fond of in time. With her newfound courage, Isabel Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation, going bankrupt anyway apparently, and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence in her skills growing, so did the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermagod Mansion. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid, and with a brave face she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting the scholarship grant from Luxburn University, Isabella moves from Salemville residences in favor of staying in a dorm closer to campus. Although she makes the decision out of convenience, she won't deny also doing it out of desire to avoid another awkward encounter with Rebecca Gales. Right, their relationship is really low in this playthrough. Following the aftermath of the curse, the relationship between the two girls have turned lukewarm at best. While no harsh words have been exchanged yet, their wordless silences since the incident has only pushed the them further apart. Isabella leaves her home of 5 years with a heavy heart, and even though she has jokingly complained about Rebecca's bossy attitude in the past, she confesses missing the woman's fussing. Despite their tense parting, she still carries hope that they will one day be able to fix whatever has become between them. Ashton. And if there will be a chance for it is a question they both ask until now. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives have settled, Zachary Steele and Isabella Santos finally hold their first exhibit together. A project that has been in the making for almost 2 years after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artist. While merely intended as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luxburn's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabella's names in the city's art scene. It has since been followed by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet even with this unexpected, overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a small project. He's her family as much as she is his. Alright. While she's aware that she still has plenty of ways to go, getting back to school has also opened a lot of opportunities for Isabella. At times, part-time work has started coming in droves, and she is able to support herself financially through her art alone. Something she has only dreamed of as a child, and when clients are generous enough, she able to send money back home as well, despite her family's reassurances. One such client is Maryann McCullough's interior design company, who frequently commissions her for murals after the woman has learned of her skill. Wait. Oh, okay, I guess it is a positive relationship with Maryann. Though at times she finds it difficult to keep up with the interior designer's standard for quality, it's a job and a challenge she's only happy to accept if it means doing what she loves. Following his success in bringing the Luxburn firm case to a close, Ashton Frey receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxburn's lead agency against organized crimes, an endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. The late Chief Inspector Lee. Did I miss something? Did they touch on that? Did he die? Why? What? I must have missed something. That can't have been the reveal that he died there. Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance at ultimately bringing Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. I guess Luke is his white whale, huh? He still warns the people close to him against Wright and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself and take care of the man once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time he never loses his drive. Simply growing more determined after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up, especially to those he knows that genuinely care for him. He still has a long way to go, he knows that, but for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, he hopes that there will become a time when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. On his days off, Ashton is usually seen loitering around Zachary Steele's studio, either to help him out on one of his pet projects or exasperating the other man on purpose. Why does he have a ponytail? What happened to the old haircut? Either or, it's mostly the latter. At certain times, he'll volunteer to model for one of Zach's projects in spite of the photographer's reassurances that it's not needed. Okay, I was about to say, did the song end? Regardless, Ashton insists before complaining how meticulous the whole process is hours later, to Zach's utter amusement. We get they're great friends, though sometimes they may get into small trivial arguments. Things have stayed cordial between the two. If anything, the ordeal they've both gone through has merely strengthened a friendship the detective didn't expect to find in anyone. Between the lingering trauma and their measly attempts at normalcy, it takes a few months for the awkwardness to finally lift for both Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos. For several weeks trying to find their voice and remembering how to act around each other, despite enduring affections. Are they eating ice cream? Are you serious? But once the unease fades, there's only their usual banter and rapport to fall back on. The casual talk and the friendly jibes. And for the both of them, it's easy, like breathing. I doubt it's as easy as breathing, but okay. Like coming home after another journey, a comfort in spite of the things they have gone through. Their days may still be filled with petty arguments and light teasing, but in the aftermath, when all has been said and done, something constant has already been forged between the them. A quiet, steadfast thing that they can both hold on to as they both carry on. Okay. That's it. Oh my god. Shut up. Stop that. God. So, oh boy, remember when I made that prediction? I think it was in Ashton's chapter. I said, you know what I predict for the ending? We're not going to learn anything about the main plot. And I don't want anybody in the comments being like, it's because of the choices you made. What do I have to do? What do I have to do to learn about what the main plot is? What do I have to learn about what happened with Charlotte and Takako, if that is her name? Some people were saying in the comments that in order to reveal the entire story, I have to make them die. I have to have the... Oh, VO casting and directing. That's from the voice actress behind Hana. Interesting. Some people were saying that I have to have all the characters die so I can get the... so I can get the memory fragments, and those reveal the story. So there's nothing in the actual visual novel that reveals it. I don't know. Very... Got lots of thoughts in my head right now. So, you know what? This might not be my last video on the letter, actually. I think I'd like to do one. It would be an abridged video. It'd be like one video worth, I think, if I could do it correctly. But I might just go through and kill everyone. See if I can't get this true ending that everybody's always mentioning, because there is a true ending. Like every game like this, there's a fucking true ending. I hate it. I hate the golden ending, the true ending, the ultimate ending, whatever you want to call it. I hate it. I hate the concept of it. It completely ruins a choice game to have the idea that there's one specific, like, true ending, canon ending that you gotta get. It ruins the entire premise of a choice game that, you know, all endings are created equal, basically, is how it should be in my mind. I like how somebody backed this game and they were like, credit me as W. I guess they can easily find their name, right? But yeah, so I think I'm gonna hold off on giving my thoughts, my full thoughts on the visual novel as a whole until I see the true ending. And then I can give a full review. But right now, I feel like my time was wasted. This game has a lot of great things about it. The art is fantastic. The voice acting is solid. It's got all the ingredients for a good story. Like, the main plot is intriguing. And that's why it's so frustrating for me, because I can't get any information about the main plot. The thing that really holds it back is the terrible, terrible, terrible writing. I'm sorry, it's just bad. It's padded out. What's with all these troll faces? Okay. And, you know, I don't doubt that Yang Yang Mobile poured a lot of love into this thing, but I think they may have poured too much because there's too much preoccupation with minor details that don't have any effect on the main plot and what, like, I'm actually there to witness. What is this? What's happening?
Tio? Where are you, Tio? Tio? Please.
Maybe Kylie will die.
She's here! She's still here, Tio! Help me! Please!
Achievement unlocked. Shattered fairy tale. Did Kylie's neck just get snapped at the end? Achievement unlocked. The real letter. Dear you, if you're reading this, it means you've finished playing the game in one way or another, and we thank you for the time you spent in playing the letter. Yeah, you'd better thank me. How many hours was that? That was like 25 hours. This game is our passion project more than anything. We sincerely hope we delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. The letter is hopefully the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you liked what we did with this game and would like to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon account. Wow. You can also follow us on social media to get the latest updates. Our usual handle is Yang Yang Mobile. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. I don't know if you guys want to talk to me. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you want to talk to me after what the things I've said about this game. I've been looking at this throughout. Like, you can see what you're missing. So, like, you got, like, backgrounds, you've got item sprites, and then you've got, like, CGs, which are these cool little things. Check it out. You can just pull it up. Really cool. And, like, I mean, look at this. Look at this fantastic art. It's terrific. It's too bad it's, like, wasted on this freaking snooze fest of a story. Look at that. Look at that shit. That's awesome. So cool. I mean, look at that. That's really neat. Oh boy, it's just so much padding, so much time spent just talking about things and relationships that I don't really care for. I'm here for the main plot. It's really unfortunate to me that my favorite chapters were Hannah's and Luke's, the two shortest chapters. Did you notice that? I aced both of their chapters in 2 videos. It took me 6 to get through Ash's because he kept analyzing the way that Rebecca, you know, carries herself. Isabella's smile didn't reach her eyes and all this crap. This was a cathartic moment right here. Too bad we didn't get to keep it, but maybe we can. You know, I'll do another playthrough. It'll be like a 1 video playthrough because you can skip dialogue, thankfully. And look at that shit. It's so cool. Oh, my favorite part of the game right here. Yeah, but look at all of these for Luke's chapter. Look at all these that we didn't see. I only saw 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 50. No, that's incorrect. 24. I only saw 1/6 of them, and I saw all the backgrounds. I didn't even see all the item sprites. That's cool too. And it's just a shame, really. I mean, oh wait, what are these? Was this epilogue? So I got individual good, Luke variant 3. Zachary variant 1. Rebecca variant 2. Isabella variant 2. Ashton variant 4. Individual bad. Luke escape variant 2. Maryann all alone. I wonder, so that could be different. I will say this about the game. It's really cool that your choices do make a difference in the game, and that there's so many different outcomes, I guess. But I didn't get any romance endings. And look at this, true endings. Sorry, no true endings for you. These are all fake endings. Just pisses me off. All right, well that was the main playthrough of the letter. I'll give a more detailed breakdown of the game in the next video when I rush through and kill everybody for the true ending or whatever. I think that's how you get it. I'll have to look it up. I'll look up how to get it, but I won't spoil myself, or I'll try not to. Let me know what you thought of this first run in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.